Hi guys, Technobricks here, and welcome to I think the most awaited LEGO sets of 2025, the new LEGO theme based on the Netflix adaptation of One Piece. And we knew since March I think that we would be getting some sets, but LEGO hadn't announced them until now. So we have 7 sets, 2 brickheads and 5 minifigure based ones. And yeah, we are going to start with the brickheads. First up, we have set 40799 Monkey D. Luffy figure for the standard brickheads price of $10 and 136 pieces. And it's just a basic brickheads, nothing really special, only custom prints to make the figure. And I like how they made the hair at the same time spiky and curly. However, don't I don't know how I feel about the straw hat. I feel like it's a little bit too tall, but still it's a good brickhead to get. The second one is set 40800 Buggy the Clown figure for again $10 and this time 176 pieces. This one is a bit more special. You can see that there is a build for the fur coat, which looks really well with those half-rounded tiles. Also, a new nose. It's very basic, but it's different from the other brickheads. And the standout, his pirate hat with his ponytails, which were both shaped really well with the snot techniques and the different slopes. And yeah, I like this one a lot better than Luffy, but they are both really great figures. The cheapest minifigure base set is set 75636, the Windmill Village hat for $30. And it's one of my favorites, and actually all its minifigures are exclusive, and we are going to start with them. So firstly we have Luffy introducing a new hairpiece and new prints, and also the build for the demon fruits, and I was hoping that we would get some new molds, but they found a really good way around that using the cracked eggshell pieces, and it's very creative. Next up we have Makino, and it's a good figure, a new hair color for that piece and a new torso print. However, it's kind of weird to get no dress printing, and this takes a lot away from the minifigure. We also have the standout of this set, Shanks, which actually comes with both the straw hat and the BTS hairpiece in red, so you can have him maybe give the straw hat to Luffy. And again, no leg printing, but this minifigure is still great and I just love it. Shanks is one of my favorite characters. The actual build of the set consists of Makino's bar, and it's really well made. I like how they made the different beams, and especially the roof, the straw roof. It looks really well, especially alternating the colors was a really good idea. And I really like also that palm tree build and the little prints or stickers. I'm not sure. I think they are stickers. I hope not. But yeah, it's an interesting but still basic build, and it has some great minifigures. Next up we have set number 75637, Buggy the Clown's Circus Stand, for $55, so quite a large gap. And it's very interesting, and it's the only set that contains Buggy with that awesome pirate hat with his ponytails that we also saw in the Brickheads, only in another form. You also have adult or teenager Luffy, again with that hairpiece, but this time he has the straw hat without Shanks' hair molded into, so very interesting. We also have Nami, which has two a new hairpiece, and Zoro, and his minifigure doesn't have new molds. However, as we all expected, he comes with a new sword mold, because as we all know, if we are One Piece fans, he fights with three swords, the third one being in his mouth. And this new sword mold that Lego made actually connects to the neck of the minifigure, and you can see here on the back of the box how cool it looks and how well it captures his look while he's fighting. Also in this picture we remark that we can we have actually a fifth minifigure. We have a second Buggy, this time with all his limbs detached, and I was hoping that they would include that, but I wasn't expecting it, and it just looks perfect with the little doll hands and the bandana and the 1x2 jumper plate. It's really well made. And moving on to the actual build, it actually has an exterior too, so this is nice. And you can see the introduction of a new collectible, the wanted posters, kind of similar to the Harry Potter portraits. In the One Piece set you are able to collect some random wanted posters for pirates. Also included are the saltwater cage in which Luffy is locked into by Buggy, and the spinning target that Zoro had been tied to. On the interior, which I think is the main part of the build, you have some chairs for the enslaved spectators, a cool walkway and chair for Buggy to sit on, and a build for his head on top to which a cage is connected. Very good looking there in gold. Another beautiful set is 75638 Battle at Arlong Park for $80 and 926 pieces. And it's first up, Lego fans will be very excited to see the return of the Miss Marvel arms as seen here on Luffy, which everyone wanted. It just captured his powers perfectly. And this time there is no straw hat for him, but those arm compensate. Next up to him we have Arlong, which looks pretty good and has a nice hairpiece, but I think a custom molded head would have been way better, so they could have showed his very big nose in a different way, in a better way. Also on his team we have Chu, and I like that they are using the Nova hairpiece from Lego Friends for other minifigures too. And yeah, it's a good minifigure with new prints and a really well made face. Also, we have our first look at Usopp, and again, a new mold for the hairpiece and new prints, but actually, none of these figures except Luffy have leg printing, so it's a shame, but they are still very good and they have arm printing. I would have liked if they had used the Pinocchio headpiece for Usopp, but unfortunately these are based on the Netflix show and not the anime, and here Usopp has a normal length nose, so yeah, you can pose him and Chew in this little forest scene with that fiery cocktail, and yeah, it really fits well as a side build here. Speaking of side builds, apart from the main building of Arlong Park, you have some carnival games, the shooting gallery and the shark attack, Arlong's throne room, let's call it that, and also a little terrace on which we see our first snake telephone with yet another new mold and new print, and I honestly think that there was no better way to do that. And I really like the sunbrella that they made using that cone piece. It's pretty funny. The build at Arlong Park looks pretty repetitive and maybe unfinished because of that those hollow stats that are showing on the front representing damage, but they look, like I said, unfinished. But the build still looks really great, but that is not the main point of interest, although it's nice to see that it also has an interior with the map room in which Nami was enslaved. But like I said, the main point of interest from this build is actually its very impressive play feature, being able to completely recreate that iconic scene in which Luffy crashes through the wall building and just splits it in half. And you can see here how you can separate from the top that very well made shark head, and from that all the side walls just collapse. And it's, I think, the best play feature that LEGO has made in recent years. Second to last, we have set 75639, the Going Merry pirate ship, for $140 and 1,376 pieces. And this is such an iconic ship, and it's amazing to finally be getting it in Lego form. And even though it's not based on the anime, it's pretty similar to it, so we get a two-in-one for both the live action and the anime show. Minifigure speaking, we have the whole Straw Hat Pirate crew, starting with again Luffy in his adult form, this time only with his hair molded into the straw hat. Next, we have classic outfit Zoro, which looks really cool, and he again has that new sword mold to hold in his mouth. Next, the repeat of Nami from the Buggy Circus stand, and also a new Usopp, and here he has a pink bandana and his classic outfit. And finally, our first Sanji, which too introduces a new hairpiece. I thought they were going to use the BTS hair, but they actually made a new hairpiece which covers his eye. And yeah, his suit looks really well, and it's maybe a shame that we haven't gotten leg printing for him, but it being a suit, the legs are pretty basic, so there wasn't a very big need for it. The build itself portrays the Going Merry really well. I like a lot how they printed the sail and the flags, they look just perfect. And the ship is shaped really well. The mutton head up front was made in a way that really captures its look and also molds very well into the rest of the ship. Also the trees at the back, and yeah, it's a pirate ship only with the designs of the Going Merry. It does actually have an interior, as you can see on the back of the box. You can open the back side to reveal a storage room. You have a kitchen and two compartments that you can open up from the deck of the ship to reveal some other storage compartments. And there is also another play feature when you can fire the cannon at the front of the ship, which is kind of weird because in the show I think it's placed on the actual deck, not under it, but still Um, very good set. Maybe could have used the side build. Last but definitely not least, we have set 75640, the Bharati Floating Restaurant for $330 and 3,402 pieces. And this, I think this should be considered an actual icon set, not a one piece set. It's just so detailed, so big, and overall just so cool looking. And firstly, the minifigure lineup is just incredible. We have Luffy with the straw hat and Garp with some very cool epaulets, then Zoro with his blue outfit and his swords, and next to him we have Mihawk with his very, very cool sword and his little knife, and you can actually have them battle on the front deck of the Bharati, and there is a play feature where you turn a gear and the characters actually fight each other. Also, we have some repeats of Nami and Usopp, and then Zeb with a very cool, I think, new mustache. I It would be perfect for some Asterix and Obelix mocks or custom figures, and also a new Sanji, this time in his cook outfit, and again that hairpiece. We also have Kobe with the Ned hair, and also Helmeppo, who has, I think, too short of a hair, more accurate to the anime than the live action show. The build contains the Big Bharati restaurant and also Mihawk's raft that we can see here. It's well made. I think the colors of the hull are a bit off, but the shaping is really good. And yeah, it's a side build, so it doesn't really matter. The obvious standout of the big build is the fish head up front. I really like how they use the tubes to make the mouth in gold, and also the red details overall. That little statue up top looks really good too, and also the entrance where, like I said, you can have Zoro and Mihawk battle. It looks really good in teal with the, I don't know if they are gold accents, they look a bit yellowish, but still very good with the statues, the mermaid statues. And yeah, really looks like the Bharati, not the one from the anime, but the one from the show. And this is actually just a facade. The build also contains an extremely detailed interior, and on the first floor you have two booths where you can have the pirate crew dining, and also framing the doorway you have two very cool spiral staircases, really well made, very seamless, and yeah, you have that terrace on the fish head and the kitchen on the other side with some food items. Also, I think that it's Zeph's bedroom or office, I'm not sure, but we again get that very cool snake phone, and on the other side we have another dining table where we can pose a single minifigure. Here it's Garp. At the top floors are kind of a museum having some artifacts on display there, which look pretty cool, and there are some niche pieces like that geode there, nice getting it a new color. So yeah, it's a very good build, some very nice parts usage, and it's the quality of a Lego icon set, not a part of a plating. Overall, I'm very excited for what the future might bring to this new One Piece theme. It's a shame that they are based on the Netflix show, as it doesn't mean that we are going to be getting anime sets anytime soon. If they were based on the manga or the anime, we could have expected maybe some Naruto or I don't know other anime sets, but yeah, this is a partnership with Netflix, not One Piece. But still a great wave with amazing minifigures and new molds.